Hey guys, ECW fan here, and it's time for another monthly movie pickups. And this edition is coming right after I recorded the flea market video, part two. I went ahead, decided to roll right into what I picked up because I don't plan on picking up anything else in uh, in the month of April. So I think I'm pretty solid here. I'm pretty sure in the last week I won't have to pick up anything. So anyhow, this haul will include more movies from that collection from Cheap Thrills, which blew me and Eddie and Chris away, man. It was a hell of a collection, and there were so many good movies in that. And I was so impressed by what Eddie, Chris, and Sean picked up. Sean, that works at Cheap Thrills, picked up Frankenhooker, which I'll have to look for that one. And Eddie got the Dead Pit, which I'll have to look for that one. So I'm not too shabby with what I picked up. I think if Eddie watches this and Chris, they'll be pleasantly surprised at what I found. And I'm gonna go ahead and start this haul off what I picked up at a thrift shop. And I was surprised to see this in that thrift shop. It was Rambo, the complete collector's set. And this gives me all the Rambo films on Blu-ray. I've got 2 DVD sets of Rambo with all the films. So why not go with Blu-ray? Because you could never get enough Rambo. And like I always, they drew first blood. That's right, Rambo. They did.
They drew first blood, not me.
Going from Rambo, I went to Cheap Thrills, and this was back before the sale. This was like a couple days before the sale, and they had marked down all these sets. And I kind of regret not getting this second set. There's only 2 sets they had of James Bond, and there is a 5 movie set here of James Bond movies, a 10 disc DVD set, and it's James Bond: The Ultimate Edition, Volume 1. And I picked this bad boy up, and because I wanted to get the Living Daylights, because I've got License to Kill, and I got on this set I got Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever, The Man with the Golden Gun, and The World Is Not Enough. Because it spans, it just goes to different Bonds. It doesn't go in order. And my cousin Nicky may still have his. He had a massive set. It's like 20 some movie set of James Bond. I don't know if he still has it, but I remember being in awe of it. And I was like, well, I don't really collect James Bond. I've watched some of the movies for free on Pluto, so. But I wanted to get the Living Daylights, and I saw this set, and I was like, for a couple bucks, I'll pick it up. So they had part Volume 2, and I went back like the next day. I said, I'm going to go ahead and get Volume 2. Somebody had already bought it. Day late and $1 short, baby. That's the story of ECW fan, the collector. A day late and $1 short. But yeah, I should have picked it up. I could kick myself, but hey, that happens with movies and games and stuff. We kick ourselves on stuff that we pick up, and we just fail. Now, moving on, I did pick up a dollar find from Cheap Thrills because they had put stuff in there, and I knew I had this one. In early April, I picked this one up, and I knew I had this. And I remember Eddie asking me if I had this before we went to the flea. That I think right after the flea market, he said maybe you should have picked up Kiss the Girls, and I found it, and it was, I found it right there at Cheap Thrills, and for $1, not bad. It's Ashley Judd and Morgan Freeman, and Ashley Judd was, God, man, she was smoking. She was a good looking woman. Haven't seen her in years, but I remember. She's the sister of Winona Judd, But yeah, man, she was a smoking woman. Now here's one I found in a pawn shop, and I was really wanting this one. It's Bad Times at the El Royale, and I've seen the trailers of this back in the day, and this always interested me, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna watch this one. Bad Times at the El Royale. I'm gonna put that one out to watch. And I've seen the trailer. It's got Jeff Bridges in it, Scarlett Johansson. It's got Chris Hemsworth. It seems like a very unique movie. It seems like one of those good team-up movies that you see. Now, staying with action, I picked up The Accountant with Ben Affleck. And Ben Affleck is an assassin in this movie. And he pretty much helps a woman in this movie. He's just the accountant. he's an accountant by day, but he's an assassin by, in his off hours. And Ben in this movie is a collector. He collects comics, actually. He has a sizable fortune in comics, which he uses to, what he makes, he puts in different things. And I think he went to the bank and he showed in his safe deposit box he had Action Comics #1, I believe. And I mean, he's very wise with how he spends his money. Now we're going to get to the movies. The rest of them I picked up from Cheap Thrills. And there's actually 6 movies I ended up picking up from Cheap Thrills the rest of the way. And I'm still in awe because I picked these up in early April. And I'm like, God, I mean, I can't believe I found these. I'm like, some of these are, ain't been opened. Some of these this guy kept. He's obviously a collector. But I'm very happy to get Dracula AD 1972. Dracula AD 1972 with Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. And those two were very close friends. They were very close, when Christopher Lee said when Peter Cushing died, part of him just went with him because they were so close. And he was, he was never, he's like, he did a speech about a friend. He said there's somebody that you could just pick up the phone and laugh with. And he said when they're gone, he said part of you's gone with that. And it's very, very good saying, and treasure your friends, treasure who you have in your life, because we're not going to be here forever. We're not immortal, even though Dracula is. We can't be like Dracula, sad to say. I don't really wish that, because immortality, while it's great and high, with Highlander and Dracula, it's got its drawbacks, because you're going to be the last one. You're going to still be there, and your friends and your family are gone. You'll be sitting there. It's not good. You see the curse of immortality. That's one of the curses. No one should be wanting to be immortal. Yeah, that more just had to kick in right there. That would be like, I can see myself walking on screen. It's like, the old classic, PSAs they used to do for drugs and stuff. Hello. ECW fan here. A lot of you out there wish to be immortal. But have you ever sat there and thought about that? And then all of a sudden, the more you know, ding dong dong. That would be a hell of a PSA. Anyhow, moving on, I picked up House of the Dead 2, because the first House of the Dead sucks so bad. Eddie I think he jokes about my taste in movies, like the Dreamgirls thing. And I was trying to tell him that they actually based it on Diana Ross and the Supremes, from what I heard. And Eddie Murphy's actually very good in that. I've seen it. I seen it on Tubi or one of those places, and he didn't give me time to explain it to him. He was just too busy dissing the movie. But I think if he had watched it, it's a very representation of Diana Ross and him, like a comparison to it from what I heard. I've seen some of it, like I said, with Eddie Murphy. Now here's one that sucked too. I'm just like running down the list of, here's one that sucked. I've always heard this one was bad. I haven't seen it. This is The Hills Have Eyes Part 2 from the 1980s. And I've always heard this was really not as good as the first one from back in the 70s. But, what do you know? And I remember I picked this up and Sean said, hey, that's a very rare cover. That's a very rare type cover, DVD cover one. You're picking up a good find on that one. And it had it marked down for cheap, over there. I picked this one up because I love animal features, never been opened. And Eddie had me interested in it. It's The Pack. The Pack. Yeah. The Pack. Now, Eddie was talking to Chris about Sleepaway Camp. And Eddie is, Eddie got the box set of Sleepaway Camp. He's got the first 3 in the movie, the 4th one that was never completed. Well, I looked online and I couldn't find the canon. I was like, I'd like to get that. And he said, Part 2's here. What do you need? And he already promised Chris his Part 2. So I found Part 2. At the same time, I found The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. So I went ahead and got Sleepaway Camp Part 2. And this is a nice one. This is a nice one to have for, you know, for the fact I'm a completionist. I've got part 1, 2, and 3 now of Sleepaway Camps. And man, that Felicia Rose, man, she's dynamite. And finally, the last one I picked up, and this one was a little pricey. It was you know, I've watched this a couple times over the years on Tubi. It's The Stuff. You want the stuff? Oh yes, the stuff. Yeah, this is it. And that's the haul from Cheap Thrills, and I really need to slack down on movies. I really do. I mean, from what I got from the flea market, and what I picked up through the month, and Amazon Prime, I'm pretty well... I'm kind of glad I didn't really go heavy, you know, outside that. I tried to watch what I bought, but May might be a light month, because I'm going to have to slack down on some movies, you know. I think I'm more. I don't think I'm gonna get much in the month of May, but I say that now, and I'll be in Cheap Thrills, and another collection will roll in, and it'll be, oh well, crap, I need that one. I need that one. So we'll see what happens. I want to thank you for liking and watching the channel and enjoying this monthly movie pickups volume. Y'all have a great month of. I hope you had a great month of April. I hope you have a great month of May. Thanks for watching. Till next time. ECW fan out.